Have you ever really stopped to think about how much IT actually costs your company?
It sounds simple, right?
Yeah.
Just a number you look up?
Yeah, a line item on a balance sheet. But what if the real answer is way, way more complicated than that?
Welcome to the deep dive. We dig into sources to find those key nuggets of knowledge. I'm a professor of information systems at Tarleton State University's Dr. Sam Pack College of Business.
And today we are diving headfirst into Chapter 4, The Cost of IT, from the Adventures of an IT Leader. Great book.
It really is. And our mission today is, well, it's to unpack just how surprisingly complex IT spending can be.
We're following the story of Jim Barton, he's the new CIO, as he tries to get a grip on IT's value and, justify it.
And you'll see that understanding the story that lives behind those budget numbers,
Yeah.
that's absolutely crucial for strategy, for finance, for just navigating how things work in an organization.
It's not just dollars and cents then.
Not at all. It's strategy, it's governance, it's people. And hey, if you find this dive valuable, maybe for your own work, or if you're in BCIS 5381, definitely consider following or sharing.
Okay, let's get into it. Jim Barton, he's brand new, 4 days in as CIO at this company, IVK.
Talk about pressure.
Mm.
And immediately the CEO, Carl Williams, gives him a directive. There are these big leadership meetings coming up.
Right, part of a company turnaround effort. Everyone's under the microscope.
Exactly. And IT's turn is April 17th. So Barton has, what, just a few weeks?
Yeah, to get his act together, as the book says.
And the CEO wants answers. Simple questions, but deep. How much are we spending in your area?
And the big one. How does that spending help us grow or, help the bottom line?
And how are we measuring this? That part's key, too.
Oof. Those must have landed hard, especially for Barton coming from the business side himself.
Yeah, he feels that performance pressure acutely. But how do you even start tackling that in just weeks when you're new to IT?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. His business background makes him see the urgency, but the trick is explaining IT costs and value in, well, business language.
Which isn't always easy.
Definitely not. It's a classic management issue, that intense pressure on new IT leaders, especially when money's tight. And it lines up perfectly with IT governance frameworks like COBIT.
COBIT.
Control objectives for information-related technologies. It stresses aligning IT with the business strategy right from the start. Barton needs these numbers for strategic leadership, not just, putting out fires.
So he needs the data. He sets up a meeting with Gary Geisler.
Ah, Geisler.
Yeah.
The IT finance numbers guru.
Not high up the ladder, a junior manager, but clearly the go-to guy for budget stuff. Barton even remembers the old CIO, Bill Davies, always relying on him.
Right. So Barton goes in, ready to get the facts, get a handle on things. Starts with what seems like the most basic question.
So, Mr. Geisler, how much are we spending on IT? Simple enough, right?
You'd think. But Geisler's reply is instantly tricky.
Right.
He asks, what do you mean by we?
Huh. Barton thought he was joking at first.
But he was dead serious. Barton has to clarify. Okay, how much does IVK, the whole company, spend on IT?
And Geisler's like, well, it depends on how you count. Still cagey.
That little exchange right there, it blows the lid off a huge organizational issue.
Which is?
IVK's IT department. They don't formally control any of the budget. Zero.
Wait, really? How does that work?
The business units get IT funds allocated to them. IT acts like an internal shop, billing the business units for services using a chargeback system.
Okay, I've heard of chargebacks. The idea is transparency, right?
Yeah.
Make the business units feel the cost.
Exactly. That's the theory. It aligns with frameworks like ITIL, the IT infrastructure library. Treating IT like a business service made people own their IT costs.
But Barton himself remembers being on the receiving end.
Right. When he ran loan ops, he barely glanced at the IT charges. Just felt like some tax he couldn't control.
So it doesn't always work as planned.
Not even close sometimes. That memory gives him empathy, but also shows this organizational problem. The model can make IT costs feel like somebody else's headache, or just, unavoidable overhead. Weak communication probably didn't help either.
And then there's the other wrinkle.
Shadow IT. Geisler mentions that business units could and did just hire outside vendors if internal IT was busy.
Like for mobile devices?
That's the prime example Geisler gives. No company standard, multiple vendors floating around. Chaos.
So IT gets blamed if mobile services go down, even if they didn't set them up.
Bingo. That's a massive management issue.
Right.
Accountability without authority. Role ambiguity, classic problem. If an external provider messes up, employees can't work. And who gets the angry calls?
IT. And Barton, the new CIO.
Yep. Barton even admits he was part of the problem before, letting it happen. And think about customer satisfaction business units went outside because maybe internal IT wasn't cutting it, cost or speed-wise.
But they still expected IT to fix the external stuff when it broke?
It's a total bind for IT's reputation. Really highlights why IT needs to be a partner with the business, not just a service provider. That's core IT service management thinking.
Okay, so after navigating that minefield, Barton pushes again for the actual number.
And Geisler finally gives him one, pulls out a paper. Okay, excluding the shadow IT spend.
Yeah.
Just the stuff we track. We spent just over $29 million last year, cash flow basis.
$29 million. Barton does the math. Comes out to about 8% of IVK's revenue.
Which, as Barton knows from industry buzz, is kind of high. Often it's more like 3% to 7%.
And Geisler confirms IVK used to be lower, around 5–6%.
Yeah, so that jumped to 8%. It's a hangover from the rapid growth phase, followed by a sudden stall.
IT spending couldn't slow down as fast as revenue did, like turning a big ship.
Exactly. And the book hints the old CIO, Davies, actually saw this coming and was trying to fix it before he left.
Which puts Barton in an even tougher spot. Inheriting a rising budget during cost cuts after the last guy got fired over it?
A major management issue. And Geisler warns it might even go up before it comes down because of big projects already in motion and, needing to modernize.
So it points to maybe a weak IT strategy in the past. Reactive spending.
Seems likely. Accumulating technical debt instead of steady investment. And now, just slashing costs blindly can break things if the infrastructure is fragile.
You have to know what's essential versus what's waste.
Precisely. Davies worried even 5–6% wasn't enough to stop things from degrading. Maybe explains past problems, outages.
Okay, so back to the chargeback system. IT is a zero-based cost center, passes everything on.
Right. And for most departments, 70–80% of their IT bill isn't direct project costs they can easily see or influence. It's bundled overhead allocations.
Making it feel even more like a tax.
Totally opaque.
Yeah.
And there's this funny story about how it started.
Oh, yeah.
The first CFO who tried to implement it, Mark Lundy, based allocations on, wait for it, the number of telephones in each department.
Seriously. Telephones.
Yep. Super rigid. Clashed hard with IVK's entrepreneurial vibe. Lundy didn't last long. Barton mused the company's immune system rejected him.
Shows a real workplace culture clash there. They weren't ready for that kind of control.
Right. Now, the current formula is way more complex. Uses email accounts, system users, concurrent logins, tries to approximate usage.
But it's so complex, Geisler admits most managers, Barton included, would get lost trying to understand it.
And Barton thinks, rightly, a map that complex is useless for making decisions.
Then comes the kicker. Barton asks who made this Byzantine formula.
And Geisler proudly says, me.
Wow. One junior manager, the wizard, holds all the keys to allocating millions.
Talk about an IT issue. Huge risk and governance problem right there.
Huh?
What if he leaves? What if the formula is biased? The fact nobody else gets it is a red flag.
Absolutely. That's basic data governance, needing transparency and oversight.
But Barton, pragmatically, decides not to challenge it right away. He sees Geisler's pride, knows the committee solution would be slow and maybe worse.
So what does he do?
He asks for a simple one-page summary. Total cost, including the shadow IT estimates, broken down simply, explaining the chargeback in plain English.
Smart move. Building trust through clarity first.
Exactly. Leadership philosophy in action. Get understanding first, then maybe involve others in fixing it later. Turn the tax into something debatable, agreeable. That resonates with COBIT principles, too. Involve stakeholders. Good leadership development.
So Geisler leaves. It's late afternoon. Barton looks at his whiteboard.
Yeah, he's got IT costs, IT services, and chargeback with a big question mark connecting them. He has numbers, but no story.
No mental map of what they actually have in IT, why they spend the money. He's trying to connect costs to services, like in ITIL service management, but it's fuzzy.
It's a common management disconnect, financials versus operations. He knows he needs that service catalog view, even if he doesn't call it that. But he worries the link is just too convoluted at IVK. A system you can't explain is a useless system for managers.
So he realizes he needs more context, more history. He reaches out to Bernie Rubin,
the IT ops veteran. Bernie gives him the scoop on IVK's IT evolution.
Which sounds like a classic organizational issue. Systems built siloed ad hoc for specific needs.
Yep. Loan origination here, something else there. They dodged the really old mainframe bullet, but critical stuff still runs on legacy tech.
Creating technical debt, an IT issue we see all the time.
The longer you wait, the worse it gets. Then, as IVK grew, Bernie explains, the focus shifted. Big investments in infrastructure, databases, security, integration tools. Necessary stuff.
But that leads to another IT issue, right? More money going to just keeping the lights on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maintenance infrastructure, leaving less for new applications, new ways to compete.
And Barton flags this. Are we losing the capacity to add new ways of competing using IT? That's a huge strategic worry.
It's the strategic question. Some shift to infrastructure is normal as things mature, but you have to bend that curve back towards innovation eventually. There's no magic percentage for maintenance versus new stuff.
But the goal is maximizing new capabilities.
Always. And this highlights a potential workplace culture issue too. Business managers using IT cost stats as a weapon. Barton, having been on that side, sees the need for partnership, not finger-pointing.
So Bernie paints a picture of the future.
Yeah, moving towards a networked model, integrating with partners, customers, service-oriented architecture. Basically, more modular systems, hinting at cloud, SaaS.
Which means more services running outside IVK's walls, new costs, new integration challenges.
Right. And the future also needs better data structures for real-time operations and, crucially for Barton, better analytics, risk analysis, customer insights.
Perfect for the loan business, but Bernie adds a warning.
A very wise one. He says about analytics, hype has probably outpaced reality. Great tools are out there, but you need smart investments, good data governance.
And managers who actually know how to use the insights.
Exactly. It's prescient thinking about today's AI buzz. Just buying tech isn't enough. Leadership, judgment, process, still key.
And getting to that future state requires big foundational investments, stuff that's hard to justify with immediate ROI.
Yep. Big plumbing projects. Bernie admits it's tough to draw a straight line from that to better business results quickly.
So Barton's thinking about how to translate that, analogies maybe, building a highway for future apps, investing in platforms for agility.
That's the communication challenge for any IT leader, making the technical make sense to the business.
Wow, what a deep dive for Jim Barton, and for us too. He went in looking for a number.
And found a whole universe of complexity. Value, process, strategy. He's finally getting the context he needs.
He can start to answer, how much are we spending and what are we getting for it?
That's the core of it. IT cost isn't static. It's shaped by history, choices, that constant push and pull between keeping things running and building the future.
So for everyone listening, what are the big takeaways here, thinking about strategic information systems?
Okay, first, always dig deeper. Understand all the IT spending, even the shadow IT lurking in the corners. You can't manage what you can't see.
Second, that balance is critical. Keeping the lights on versus investing in the future. Where does your organization stand? That's a key management consideration.
Third, transparency and governance matter hugely in finance. Make those complex chargebacks understandable. Build trust, enable good decisions. That's a governance must.
And maybe the biggest one for leadership development.
Bridge that gap between IT and the business. Foster partnership, not war. See IT as a strategic lever, something that drives the business forward.
Not just a cost center to be slashed.
Absolutely.
Jim Barton's ready to make that case. So, a final thought for you. In your world, is IT seen as that strategic asset, or is it just overhead?
And maybe more personally, what steps could you take to shine a light on those hidden costs and really connect technology investments to business outcomes?